news coming in on Wall Street. We did see that rally coming in on the tech stocks, but yesterday we saw, those tech stocks give up all those gains.
Absolutely. In fact, the US markets slipped yet again. It was a mixed day, as tech stocks, like you pointed out, they dragged indices lower. The S&P 500, that fell about 0.2%, marking its fourth straight day of losses, while the Nasdaq, that dropped 0.6%. The Dow, on the other hand, that was bucking the trend yesterday, inching up about 16 points to that 44,938 level. Now, big tech names like Amazon, Apple and Alphabet, they fell over 1% yesterday, while chip makers like Intel and Broadcom, they also weighed on the sentiment. Nvidia, meanwhile, which was down over 3% in intraday trade, managed to close almost flat. Now, all eyes are going to be on Fed Chair Jerome Powell's speech at Jackson Hole on Friday for clarity on the path of interest rates going forward. Now, futures suggest an over 80% chance of a rate cut in September. Apart from that, for today, Walmart earnings, workday results, along with jobless claims data and existing home sales data are the key triggers that we'll be watching from the US markets. So that's how the US market shaped up and the cues that we're looking at for the rest of the week. But how are things on the crude front, Ankita?
Right, Kanishka. So on the crude front, we did see crude rise up on Wednesday as the American Petroleum Institute reported a drop in the U.S. crude inventories, and investors awaited the next step in talks to end the Ukraine war, with sanctions on Russian crude remaining in place for now. Brent crude futures rose 66 cents or 1% to $66.45 a barrel. As far as WTI is concerned, those futures for September delivery set to expire on Wednesday gained 78 odd cents or 1.25% to settle in at $63.13 a barrel. Now, crude fell more than 1% on Tuesday on optimism that an agreement to end the war seemed closer. However, US President Donald Trump conceded that Russian President Vladimir Putin might not want to make a deal. So that's where crude is settled at.
Absolutely. Let's now shift focus to the Indian markets as well and see